What's up, guys? It's John here with National Sports Entertainment, and I just wanted to go into the games of today's as well as just a look into tomorrow. As you can see, we had a really good day. We have one outstanding bet that hasn't paid yet, so we're right around 500. And again, it's all because of the system. In this case, basketball really came through today, actually, in general. Basketball, the picks have been really good. And these are all, the funny thing is, most of these are spreads, and most of the money lines were actually underdogs. We got Portland as an underdog. The Suns, they were flopping back and forth. I would consider them an underdog, but they were even odds. We got Portland a few times. But yeah, it just, basketball seems maybe more straightforward, pretty obvious. But we were able to get, with our parlays, we were able to hit them on the first sequence. And it bailed us out on some of the football ones because, if you notice, for sequence number 80 here, we missed Baltimore early in the day. I had them -6. Luckily, the Suns came through and squashed that. So, and we had the Miami under hit for the Jacksonville. So we finished off good. Yankees were really the only letdown. Go figure. Every other one got we either took on the first or second sequence. Yankees baseball, I swear, it just doesn't seem to be my forte. But I wanted to go into the games and just stuff I noticed. So, as I posted and what I went over, the reason I like the Miami under, if you watch my Tua video a while back, I predicted him being, quote, injured. So I knew when he came back, they weren't going to do anything crazy with him. It was going to be a lot of running. They weren't going to and they started off kind of fast-paced, but I knew that wasn't going to continue all game. And I'll tell you another reason that I love the under in this game. So, for people saying, no, it's not rigged, or people, they're not in on it. Well, you go to NFL and look at the first article that comes up. Well, it is for the preview. Of course, it's not up now. Luckily, I screenshotted it. And if you read it, why bettors should take the over for Dolphins. And then the guy goes on to say all the great reasons why the over is going to hit. Well, of course it didn't, because the guy is a phony. But my point is that was between that and the Tua coming back. I didn't see that game going over. A couple of the day games threw me off. I thought they were going to have Jacksonville win. The Colts play spoiler. I really did. Broncos, I'm not that surprised, just because I think they're just going to start their Russell story next week in London. It makes more sense. Now they're actually last in the division. So that one makes sense to me. Just the Giant Titan combo didn't, because I just don't get those lines, but that's fine. And then going into basketball, Chris Paul, I've been watching him for years. If Chris Paul is playing a home game that he should win, you can expect he's going to play terrible. If he's on the road or just playing a team he should lose against, or it doesn't look like they should play well, he's going to play unstoppable. He's like that. Devin Booker's like that. The Suns in general are like that. That's why I really liked them tonight when I saw they were a 1-point favorite. I thought, A, most public money was going to be on the Clippers, and B, the Suns were just going to do a lot better than people thought. And we'll see the opposite when they play at home against the average team and get blown out. But yeah, the only one we really missed was the Pelicans. They came all the way back. At this point, I think the Jazz are just trolling people because in week 1, as you can see, they came back, and it was in overtime, and they beat the, they lost to I'm trying to see their first game. I think their first game was against the Nuggets. Yeah, they played the Nuggets, and they came back, or they just beat them. They just beat them off the bat. And then they played in Minnesota, and they came back. Minnesota came all the way back to push it to overtime, only for the Jazz to beat them. And then they were up on the Pelicans like 14. Pelicans came all the way back, only for the Jazz to beat them. So they're definitely doing something interesting with the Jazz. I actually expect them to lose tomorrow because after this string, I think most people are going to be picking them to win, thinking they're an actually good team. I've watched them play. They're not that good. They're just being hyped up as a team that's competitive. But yeah, that was mostly what I saw. The T-Wolves looked straight up. I liked them. As I said, the Hawks and the Warriors I had as possible upsets. The Warriors weren't upset, but it's just one of those where nobody was going to take the Kings. And same with the Hawks. They got a couple easy blowout wins at home. I expected that to end. I should have picked them, to be honest, but it wasn't one I loved. And of course, we got the Blazers at the beginning of the day. You guys know my opinion on the Blazers. You know my opinion on Shadon Sharp and what they're going to do with the Lakers. They're just trying to set up a trade now with Russell and Kyrie, I believe. But we had a really good day. All of our sequences, like I said, have been basically closed out. And just since we started basketball, and I'm going to be doing more basketball for this reason, we're up, just from basketball alone, we're up over 200, almost 3. So I am, just in like, I don't know, what's it been like, freaking 5-6 days or something. So I don't know if it's because it's more straightforward or if it's because they play back to back to back, so it's just easier to see. But I've really been reading the basketball really well. So we're going into tomorrow, and we got some night games. And I'll go into, there's a reason I didn't touch tonight's game. I think most people liked Miami. To me, it was a game that was going to come down to the live betting, and I think it did. That's why I liked the under. I knew that was going to hit. Whereas Miami -7, even buying it down, looked appealing, but I think it was a trap. And I'm never going to take the Steelers just because you don't know what they're going to do. So I did not cover that game for that reason. There's a reason I posted. I only liked the under. I don't avoid primetime games for no reason. If I do, it's because I have a very good feeling it's going to be too close and there's no reason to play it. Or the over-under is better. In this case, Patriots win. I'll go into more of it and if they cover. But they're going to give Bill his record second all-time win on primetime. They're just doing it. And yeah, you could wait and do it another time. But this is the time. So they're winning. I was actually thinking about parlaying them with the Dolphins. But I was like, it's 2 days apart. So something else might come up. So I'm just going to pick them maybe with a basketball game. But I do like them. As far as the NBA, I'm going to go into a lot of games tomorrow. But right off the bat, the ones that stand out to me are the Sixers, the Knicks, and the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies looks like it could be a trap. There's no reason the Nets should be even close. The Grizzlies should be like 6-point favorites. So as much as I love Ja, I'm wondering if that one could be a trap. The reason the Sixers I like, they have to get a win against the spread, and people are going to see that, so they haven't been playing good, and they're going to take the Pacers with those points. So I'll go into more of the metrics. Like I said, I'm going to focus more on basketball because we've been doing so well with it, and it's just more of a moneymaker. And we'll probably be hitting at least 5 games tomorrow, and we'll look at the World Series, of course, but that hasn't been great. It's been more the NBA and the NFL that's been really helping. But the NBA, like I said, there's certain teams I've been watching for a bit and players like Chris Paul, and I can tell pretty quickly, and just based off the matchup usually, what's going to happen. So thanks to basketball, we had a really good day, and that's what I was saying the other day. I think by Thursday we're going to be about between triple and quadrupled up. We're actually close to tripled up now, and we'll hit that 4X soon. We were set back a little bit with the Yanks, but that's fine. Like I said, we're moving forward, which is what matters. And I'm excited that we have so many, what I believe to be enticing basketball matchups coming up. 0-3 teams, 3-0 teams. A lot of times when you see that, you'll see it balance out. So I just didn't want you guys to think I forgot about primetime. It was not a game I had any interest in playing. I told you guys that. Same with the Chiefs. I think everyone thought that the Niners were going to win. So both those games I just was not a fan of. I did like the under. That's why I made that post. I felt like it was foolish to do a whole video just to say, hey, take the under. But that's basically it. I wanted to recap today. Anyone that's new, this is another great example of how the system works, because we start off losing the Ravens, I even picked the Bucks, so I lost the Bucks. I went with them last minute. Losing the Titans, losing the Jags, losing the Broncos, and just because of timely second and third legs like the Bengals, like the Suns, like the Raiders, the under on the Dolphins, these timely ones, and because the parlays worked, we finished way higher in the green despite only picking about, I think it was like 50% today, and we picked about 30% when it came to football. So that's why I try and urge people, the system is what matters. There's going to be ups and downs, but there's days we go 80% and don't do too well. Today, the bankroll went from like 300 to almost 5, and we weren't even 50%. So that's why I made the playlist in the Discord, so everybody can see how the system works. There's people that are doing it now, and it's in the Discord. They're saying, like, the discipline is the one thing that is now making it where they can profit, because they understand that over time the odds always balance out. So I just wanted to go more into that briefing, and it's been a long week for me, so I've been covering a lot of games. I've been covering 5 if you include college and hockey. But I wanted to just get a recap out and go into my preview for tomorrow's games, and then also go into why I believed where Tua is going from here. Now, next week, we can expect Tua to come out to play. So that narrative is being set up. I think Russell winning in London, I was a week early on that one. I didn't know he was going to be benched. So, yeah. Again, we had a good day. I think we're over the target. And I've been told by a bunch of people, hey, your basketball's basically fire, so stick with basketball. And I appreciate it. I don't take that as an insult. My football's been good, but there's no doubt my basketball's been better. So we're going to do what wins us the most money. So we're going to be doing some basketball parlays tomorrow, and we're going to be really watching a lot of these games. Take care, everybody. I got to get some sleep, and happy earnings.